Hello, this is the Welcome Mat. My name is Matt, today here with a book review on Silence by Shusaku Endo. Shusaku Endo is hailed by many as the Japanese version of Graham Greene. He wrote this novel in 1966. It would go on to be translated in 1969 by William Johnston, and he himself would pass away, Mr. Endo, in September 29th of 1996. So I thought it was fitting on the 50-year anniversary of this book's publication to give a review of it and read it finally. The book is set in the 1600s at a time in Japan when Catholicism was being persecuted. It had come there in the 1500s and the church had been growing, and similar to the Hebrews in the book of Exodus, the people, the government of the land, were afraid that these new inhabitants would overrun things and maybe even threaten the nation with war or something like that, and they were worried about the well-being of their people. So it's very interesting to get into the historical fiction of this and just put yourself there and think about what was happening to the Japanese Catholics during this time. Now, in regards to the book itself, the length is a little under 200 pages. I found it to be a good length. It's not too long, it doesn't overstay its due, but it's not too short either. Although it was translated nearly 50 years ago, the style is not archaic, it's smooth, it's readable. Although I would say, for who I recommend this book to, let's just talk about that. I would not recommend this book to people that are huge on action point, action point, action point, plot point, plot point, plot point. If you love those kind of books and movies and such, this may not be the book for you. It's more of a psychological thriller. It's more about the moral and ethical dilemma, the character development within his own mind, and how he responds to what's going on around him. And it's more philosophical by nature. If you're into that kind of stuff, then I highly recommend this book. But if you feel dragged down by just knowing all these things about what's going on in the character's mind, you want to know bigger, grander things, this may not be the book for you. I found the book, though, to be very engaging in the sense of wanting to know what's going on in the character's mind. But because the topic is so heavy with persecution and with the things going on in his mind, I didn't find it to be a book I could just pick up and read in one setting. Maybe that's me personally. Maybe it's because I myself grew up in China, in Macau, for almost 4.5 years of my life. And Macau, the port of Macau, plays a part in this book. And so I was able to put myself there and really imagine, because I had Portuguese friends that lived there, just like the background of all that's going on leading up to their journey towards Japan of these Catholic priests. I found the book, though, to be very informative, to learn about the historical situation, and also to put yourself in the mind of thinking and wrestling through what it would be like to be around other Christians who have apostatized and how to deal with that and what should you do about that. It's not a question that a lot of Christians and people are asking so much in America, but in other parts of the world, even right now, those are realities, and for Christians throughout many centuries, they have been realities. So it really puts you there and makes you think how you should respond to that and how you should think about that. I found the book to be satisfying, even though the ending was very controversial, to say the least, for many. It definitely brings things home full circle, I guess is the best way to say it. It makes you think, and it's tough, and it's not a lighthearted read by any means in that regard, but it's very readable, and I highly recommend this book. If you're interested in religion, if you're interested particularly in Christianity and Catholicism, if you have interest in mission efforts throughout the world, if you're interested in Japan in particular, any of those reasons, I would recommend that you check this book out. You could easily read it in a day or throughout a couple days. The chapters are not that long, and it's definitely worth your read. If I had to rank it out of a 10, I would probably give it an 8.5. But it's hard to put a ranking on a book like this because it's so unique. It does switch through a couple of different writing styles. He uses a diary at one point. He uses letters, and most of the book is written from the perspective of the main character, and it's normal kind of narrative style. So that can be a little jarring, but it also added more flavor to me of seeing how things are portrayed through those different formats. So this is the Welcome Mat. My name is Matt. That has been my review of Silence by Shusaku Endo. Feel free to leave comments below. Let me know if you've read the book, what you think about it. If you have any more questions or concerns, feel free to ask about it. As someone who is a Southern Baptist, a Protestant Christian, I found it very interesting to get into the mind of a Catholic priest, and particularly of the 1600s and what they would have been thinking, and just to think through those things. Definitely worth your read. Definitely will expand your mind to engage it critically, and for those reasons, I highly recommend this book. This has been Matt with the Welcome Mat. Have a great day.